breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on, I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut, I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realize it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
Good morning, and welcome to the New Thought Spiritual Center. Very merry, happy holiday service. Got my fun, goofy Christmas hat on, jolly hat, and we welcome you with us. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. You know, everybody knows that a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Those tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. This month carries a profound and significant time of remembrance, love, and power for the world. We join together in prayer, ceremony, and ritual in honor of births and harvests, and in alignment with the universal current of renewal. Isn't that cool? That flows in each and every one of us. There's gifting and celebrating and songs and stories and spirit fueling the path into our best life. This morning, we shall speak of miracles, freedom, unity, right mindfulness, family, and faith. This morning, we will speak of you and me and all of us in the one. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Happy Hanukkah, have a succulent solstice, joyous Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you. Joseph Campbell tells us that the goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature. Today we shall ring in our sacred ceremony with Crystal Bowl's Sound Bath, a sound bath of meditation music from Heart Alchemy co-founder Graha Natha. So please, at this time, close your eyes or put them at a soft focus, whatever works for you. And place your feet on the floor if you would, please, or make them cross-legged if you're a good yogi. And lay your hands open and your heart receptive as we take 3 deep breaths together. And we're going to do that for a count of 4. Here we go. And breathe in and hold it together. 3, 2, 1, and release it through your mouth. Let's do that again. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and let it out. This time, as we breathe in for 4 seconds, let's know that God is, the divine is. And we hold that power that is within us. We intentionally hold it and show it as we release, knowing I am. I am this power of divine intelligence and love, present in peace, in grace, right here, right now, in this time and this place. And breathe as we bring in the crystal bowls. And here they are. As the Navajos prayed, in beauty I walk, with beauty before me I walk, with beauty behind me I walk, with beauty above me, with beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again.
The neo-pagans celebrated the Yule, where much of the imagery of the Christmas holiday comes from. Ribbons, candles, evergreens, snow, and reindeer. We speak this pagan prayer for Yule. See the gray skies overhead, preparing the way for the bright sun soon to come. See the gray skies overhead, preparing the way for the world to awake once more. See the gray skies overhead, preparing the way for the longest night of the year. See the gray skies overhead, preparing the way for the sun to finally return, bringing with it light and warmth.
And Mary Saccarino offers us this from the Naraya. Pray for all good things, that suffering for all will end, that life will thrive and generosity reign in the hearts of all humankind. That joy will rise and children will fly on wings of prosperity. May we dance with the dark without hesitation or fear, and savor her promise of plenty, deep night, dark night, night of the longest sigh. May our weary hearts stay vigilant and receptive to all that is loving and dear.
And from the winter goddess soirees of Trina Beckstead and her gal pals, we know we are in a fertile time, a time to ready the womb, a time for pregnant possibility, a time to sow seeds of imagination to germinate in the darkness, a time to tend the inner hearth, be warmed by the coals of creativity. The union of opposites, fullness, emptying, emptiness, filling. The shortest day meets the longest night. Celebrate the dark, greet the light. We've journeyed long, we've journeyed far. In summer, we rejoiced in the sun, now absent. In winter, we settle into the night, now present. We draw inward, tuck in our wings to keep warm. All flights are canceled. No fighting, no trying, no pushing the river. It flows by itself. So you watch it, you notice. You see twigs and branches submerged in the stream of your life. Without effort, the water flows over, under, and around it all. Nothing can stop it. It goes on forever, like you do, like I do, like we do. May you go on forever, like this most pregnant night of the year.
We breathe in these words of the winter solstice, knowing that each and every one of these words penetrates our minds, our hearts, every cell in our body. Listen to your heart beat. The crystal bowls ring. And let us take a deep breath together. Hold it. And beautifully release this breath. Once again. And release. Let us wiggle our toes. Wiggle our fingers. Bring our consciousness back into your room, your sacred space. And with gratitude, slowly open your eyes, knowing we are centered right here, right now, in the release of these words as together we say, and so it is. A little combination of guided meditation and spiritual mind treatment to center yourself into this sacred space of your home and of this moment in our celebration. These December holy days link to the Northern Hemisphere winter solstice. I'm sure most of you know that, which actually only lasts a moment. It's very interesting. We talk about this whole thing, the winter solstice, but actually only lasts probably a millisecond on December 21st, tomorrow at 2:02 a.m. So you can get up in about 12, 14, whatever hours and witness the winter solstice, Pacific time, 2:02. It also brings us the shortest day and the longest night of the year. And from then on out, the sun shines a little longer each day as we begin to slowly march towards spring. Now that night, I want you now, tomorrow night, not tonight, but tomorrow night, I want you to go out and witness what is known as the Christmas star. And that's when Jupiter and Saturn will get so close in the sky that each will almost appear to merge with one another. Such a close connection between the two hasn't occurred in the dark for some 800 years. So this is a momentous astrological occurrence. And so what you need to do is take a look in the southwest sky about an hour after sunset. So whenever sunset comes, I don't know, is that 5 or 6? 5 or 6? About an hour to 2 hours. Take a look at the southwest sky and you'll see those two planets close together and the star that was called the Star of Bethlehem. Winter solstice. In East Asia, the people celebrate the longer daylight hours and the increase of what they believe is positive energy at this time of year, flowing in during the Dongqi festival. The Shai Yalda is a festival in Iran with bonfires ablazing and storytelling and poetry readings and feasting on red foods, especially like pomegranates and watermelon. And they celebrate there the death and the rebirth of the sun. Earlier in the month, the Zuni have a shalaka, which brings a series of dances and ceremonial dramas with it, and a lot of chants that young children learn to for their adult years. And there's this festival that they have, and that invokes the divine blessing and gratitude to the gods for the harvest of the year. Many of you have probably heard of Saturnalia. Saturnalia was an ancient Roman feast week. It was a whole week, and it was a time to celebrate Saturn, the god of agriculture and harvest, and Ops, a fertility goddess. The holiday was celebrated with a sacrifice and we don't do that anymore, and a public banquet followed by private gift giving. So they had gift giving too, and a carnival atmosphere of partying and gambling, which was actually illegal at other parts of the year. And interestingly enough, the masters provided table service for their servants at one of these feasts, sort of a Roman Sadie Hawkins day. The warm winter solstice has been observed and celebrated since 10,200 BC. From ancient Egypt to Stonehenge, for the 2nd century pagans and worshippers of the mythological god human saviors like Apollo and Dionysus and Hercules and Horus and Osiris and Perseus, there was this emperor that put all those winter solstice holidays together into one and called it the birthday of the unconquered sun celebration. All of these through to the Japanese taking fruit-infused warm baths while they were lighting bonfires as well and eating their version of pumpkin on Toji is their winter solstice holidays. The winter solstice festivities and traditions are centered on starting the new year with health and prosperous blessings. They all have this in common. But whichever is celebrated this holiday season during the winter solstice, we bring thoughts of warmth, spirituality, home, family, love, freedom, fulfillment, and success into our lives by aligning ourselves with the divine intelligence and love within through these ritual offerings, through these feasts and mind and heart-filled spiritual practices. We connect with the wisdom of the ancients and the mystics of today to live an abundant, succulent, loving, and joyous life right here in the present. And let's now hear from Simon and Garfunkel. A wider.
So hard to please, but look around, leaves are brown, and the sky is a hazy shade of winter. In the Salvation Army band, down by the riverside is bound to be a better ride than what you got planned. Carry your cup in your hand and look around you. Leaves are brown now. And the sky is a hazy shade of winter. Hang on to your hopes, my friend. That's an easy thing to say, but if your hopes should pass away, simply pretend that you can build them again. Look around. grass is high, the fields are ripe. It's the springtime of my life. Seasons change with the scenery, weaving time in a tapestry. Won't you stop and remember me at any convenient time? Funny how my memory skips while looking over manuscripts of unpublished rhyme. Drinking my vodka and lime, I look around, leaves are brown now, and the sky is a hazy shade of winter. Look around, leaves are brown, there's a patch of snow on the ground. Look around, leaves are brown, there's a patch of snow on the ground. Look around, leaves are brown, there's a patch of snow on the ground.
On the winter solstice, also known as the day the sun stands still, we will have just 8 hours and 46 minutes of daylight between sunrise and sunset. The long, dark night of the winter solstice has been celebrated in some form around the world for centuries, as Reverend Jay was talking about. It came to symbolize birth, death, and rebirth, a time to give thanks to our ancestors and to the sun and the earth for sustaining us. In ancient Europe, this night of darkness grew from the myths of the Norse goddess Frigga, who sat at her spinning wheel weaving the fates. The celebration was called Yule, from the Norse word jul, meaning wheel. The Christmas wreath is a symbol adapted from Frigga's Wheel of Fate, and it reminds us of the cycle of the seasons and the continuity of life. So the story goes as follows. Baldur was the Norse god of the sun. His father was Odin, the god of war and death, wisdom and poetry. His mother was Frigga, great goddess of the earth. One night, Baldur had a dream, a fearful dream, in which his death appeared to be foretold. Upset, he told his family. Well, his parents were devastated. They each determined to do what they could. So Odin made a journey to the Norse underworld. There he confronted the gatekeeper to the land of the dead, and his worst fears were confirmed when she predicted Baldur's arrival. So Frigga set out to gain a pledge from everything in the world. Every tree, plant, stone, element, bird, and animal she encountered gave her their word that they would never harm her son. So finally she returned home, assured that Baldur was protected. So back in Asgard, she told all the gods and goddesses that everything had pledged not to harm Baldur. Well, immediately the divinities began to party. A joyful contest began of throwing things at Baldur, which he just took in joyful stride. But Loki, the god of mischief, did not feel joyous. He began to wonder if everything had indeed given a pledge. Knowing that Frigga would never tell him, Loki disguised himself as an old woman and began to flatter her. Oh, you traveled over the entire creation. No wonder you're so tired. And everything gave you their pledge? How wonderful. Well, not everything, Frigga finally said. There is a little plant called mistletoe on the other side of the mountain. It looks so weak and helpless, I couldn't imagine it would have power to hurt my son. So I didn't require it to give me its pledge. Loki immediately went searching the far mountainside and found the delicate-looking mistletoe. Taking a branch with him, he made his way to the sports field. The festivities were still in full swing. Loki watched archers shooting arrows at Baldur. The arrows flew straight and true, and at the last moment, they swerved to the side, while Baldur just laughed heartily. Only Hodor, the blind god of winter and Baldur's brother, was not participating in the sport. Isn't it a joyous day for us that Baldur is invulnerable to wounds? Loki asked him. Why are you not participating in the celebration? Oh, I wish I could, Hodor said, but I cannot see the mark. Well, I can help you with that problem, Loki cried. I will guide your arrow. Loki slyly fixed a newly sharpened sprig of mistletoe to the tip of Hodor's arrow. He drew his bow. Loki checked the aim, and the arrow was released. The mistletoe arrow flew straight and true, but did not swerve as the other arrows had. Instead, it struck Baldur directly in the heart. The sun god fell to the ground, instantly dead. The world was immediately plunged into unending winter. Odin, horrified, raced to the stables and hitched a team of Frigga's sacred reindeer to a cart, and once again went to the gates of the underworld. They were just closing as Odin cried out, "Stop! My son is in there!" "Yes," the ancient gatekeeper answered, "you shall not see him again." "You do not understand. He is the sun god. What will the worlds of Asgard and Midgard do without the sun?" The gatekeeper looked at Odin and said, "Man can destroy life, but he cannot provide it. You have no power here. Farewell." Meanwhile, as snow poured down, the gods and goddesses lamented Baldur. Suddenly, shrieking madly, Frigga raced to the body of her son through the storm. Raging and weeping, she took hold of the arrow and pulled it from his body. Suddenly, she fell silent, and bending over Baldur's corpse, kissed him full on the mouth, and breathed the breath of life back into Baldur. Remember, my friends, man has the power to destroy life, but cannot provide it. Woman can do both. With a startled gasp, Baldur gave a cry as the air expanded his lungs. Odin realized that Baldur would need some time to recover. What would happen to Midgard, the world of humans, plunged into darkest winter? Odin returned to the team of reindeer. Leaping and bounding, they raced down the world tree. Indeed, if you were standing in Midgard and able to see them coming, you might even believe the reindeer were flying. It was deep, dark night when Odin arrived. The humans were huddled together in their homes, desperate for warmth, paralyzed with fear. Odin, the compassionate, entered every single home, whispering his message in every sleeping ear. "Be ye of good cheer. Baldur lives. The sun will return. Rejoice." And so, Odin gave us the gift of hope that sustains us in desperate times. This is the winter solstice. Happy Yule.
A beautiful story about superheroes and the winter solstice. Next, we'd like to talk about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa begins on the 26th of December and lasts for 7 days. Each day, one of the 7 principles, the Nguzo Saba, is highlighted, celebrating the African-American culture and heritage. I'm going to let Teddy Pendergrast explain it with his Happy Kwanzaa song.
Habarigani, habarigani, Kwanzaa.
Oh yeah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Feel the joy as we sing of the love togetherness can surely bring emotion. Set the table that are strong, thankful for the first fruits of the year. Stay I light a candle just for you. Come join the party, it's a celebration. Karamu at Kwanzaa time of year. Red and yellow, black or white, your it's alright. It's a celebration that shall last throughout the year. Happy Kwanzaa. Alright. Together there is so much we can do. Happy Kwanzaa. All right. It's a celebration, remembering times of old. Tradition is the food that fills our souls. Yes, it does. Still the children are the future of all our hopes and dreams. Let's teach them well. Let's teach them well. Come join the party. It's a celebration. Karamu at Kwanzaa time of the year. Red and yellow, black or white. Young or old, it's alright. It's a celebration that will last throughout the year. Happy Kwanzaa. Alright. Happy Kwanzaa. Everybody. Happy Kwanzaa. Together there is so much we can do. Happy, 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 happy Kwanzaa. So many ways to show I love you. See, I have faith in all that we do. But we gotta stay together. Just a few of the principles that help us carry on. Happy Kwanzaa. Together. There's so much we can do. 'Cause it's a celebration.
It usually starts at 8, that's when we give praise to the man upstairs for another blessed day. I give hugs to my moms, my dad and my sis. You smell that? I run to see what moms cook.
While we drink from the cup of togetherness, it's that part of the year that you don't want to miss. I give a gift from the heart so you know it's true. So recite a principle and tell me what it means to you.
Creativity. Unity. Self-determination. A good purpose. To have your own. Work together.
But we gotta work together. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Everybody.
That's right.
Happy Kwanzaa. Together. Together. So much we can do. Take it up, take it up, take it up. Come on.
I feel that.
Everybody. Happy Kwanzaa. Oh, yeah. All right. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it one more time?
Celebration, celebration, celebration.
Get 'em off, get 'em
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishonu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Blessed art you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has made us holy through God's commandments and commanded us to light these Hanukkah lights. Well, Chaim Sameach to my mishpucha in the Jewish faith. Hanukkah. Well, Hanukkah actually ended on December 18th, just a couple of days ago this year, with its 8-day miracle and gift giving, which is actually an American tradition. The chocolate coins, the gelt, that's always fun. The candles and the menorah, like I had before me, and the potato pancakes, the latkes, and wine. So who couldn't love such a holiday with all that fun stuff? Well, I have Reverend Gary here with a story to tell about the Festival of Lights, which is what Hanukkah is called. But first, I want to give you a little history on this December holiday from the musical group 613. Watch this. You'll love it.
I want to give it up for our outstanding musical guest, 613, who just did an amazing performance for Michelle and I of a Hamilton remix. If you ever have a chance to get the mixtape, you should buy it.
I tell the tale of those before me.
I tell the tale of those before me.
And of their victory in the fight.
And of their victory in the fight.
And now our children tell the story.
And now our children tell the story.
They tell the story of the light.
They tell the story of the light.
We'll add another one each
light to freedom.
They tell the story of
How does a humble ragtag band full of boys from yeshiva rise up to triumph against unbelievable odds in a battle our people still remember and celebrate with dreidels every year around December?
The 5 pious and loyal sons of Mattathias stood against bias, said you can't deny us. You disagree, try us. Our God will supply us with strength to win, and then potato lockers we will fry us.
For every day while praying was being barred and made harder, our ways they tried to change. Antiochus sent his guard out. Inside our boys knew not to forget what they were part of. 5 brothers and their dad ready to win or die as martyrs.
Then the Greeks came and Hellenization reigned. Our people saw a future dripping down the drain. They entered into the temple and the altar they profaned, left the blood stain. Our heroes got sick of the pain.
Well, the word spread around. We said, this is insane, man. We Jews cannot survive under Antiochus' reign, man. Let's fight back and send the Greeks right back from whence they came, and our bravery will win us fame. Say your name, man.
Judah Maccabee. They call me Judah Maccabee. And Antiochus says he's number 1. But just you wait, just you wait.
I am not throwing out in the pot. I am not throwing out in the pot. Hey yo, I'm straight game, I'm spinning while y'all on the chinning, and I'm not throwing out in the pot. Make the menorah hot.
See, it isn't all about presents, cause gratitude for miracles is Hanukkah's essence. The Maccabees revolted for the Greek plans. Now a horror we dance, and we fry latkes and pans. I'm gonna make them hot.
Yeah, we give thanks for being free because of the revolt led by Judah Maccabee. They defied, do or die. You and I feel great and celebrate as the lights we illuminate.
And I am not throwing out in the pot. I am not throwing out in the pot. Hey yo, I'm straight game, I'm spinning while y'all learning and chinning, and I'm not throwing out in the pot. I am not throwing out in the pot. I am not throwing out in the pot. Hey yo, I'm straight game, I'm spinning while y'all learning and chinning, and I'm not throwing out in the pot. Everybody sing. Doing this real. If you're ready,
Light up, candles in the Hanukkah, light up. We remember Maccabees when we light up. Candles in the Hanukkah, light up, light up.
Light up, make the menorah hot. We gonna light up, make the menorah hot.
We're gonna light up,
make the menorah hot.
light up, light
Make the menorah hot. Make the menorah hot. Make it hot, hot, hot. Make menorahs hot, make menorahs hot. And I am not throwing guilt in the Ma'osur Yeshuati, Ma'osur Yeshuati, Ma'osur Yeshuati.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. Judah Maccabee, we sing of you.
And the odds you overcame.
When we're playing our dreidel game each night, we light those candles, flame low. The victory's a miracle. We celebrate.
That video is a pretty tough act to follow, but here's a story that's pretty entertaining from Melissa Faye Green called 8 Candles, 9 Lives. We parents work so hard to relay the historical and spiritual import of religious holidays. No, we explain, Hanukkah is not primarily about gift giving. It's about a long ago freedom struggle. The 8-day winter holiday celebrates the successful resistance of the Jews against King Antiochus Epiphanes of Syria and the restoration of the Second Temple 21 centuries ago. All our traditions, from lighting the menorah to frying the potato pancakes called the latkes to spinning a top in the game of dreidel, contribute to the commemoration of these events. Well, unfortunately, the Hanukkah observance that has stayed with my children as the most significant of their childhoods has nothing to do with religious freedom. One night back in the 1990s, we tidied up wrapping paper and toys in the den while the lit menorah stood on the kitchen table. In our absence, as the many colored candles snapped and dipped, our long-haired black and white cat, Ladybug, hopped onto the kitchen table and brushed past them. Do you smell something? I asked my husband, Donnie. Is something burning? Asked Molly, our oldest daughter, age of 10. It was Ladybug. The fur on her left flank had been singed down to the skin. She wasn't hurt, but she wore a peeved expression all evening. And for the rest of the week, she hid whenever we began chanting the Hebrew blessing over the candles. Though her fur grew out as thick as ever, Ladybug took a dim view of Hanukkah after that, clearly preferring the less flammable holidays like Labor Day. Well, the following year, for a fifth grade assignment about family traditions, Molly wrote about Ladybug's encounter with the Hanukkah candles. The teacher, Lynn Fink, a sporty and funny woman, enjoyed Molly's story and gave her an A. 3 years later, Seth goes to Ms. Fink's for fifth grade. He also worked the scorching of the cat fur into a writing assignment, and he too got an A. Ditto our son Lee, 3 years later, same teacher, same story, same A. We had no idea these retellings were piling up. That year, the year Lily got Ms. Fink for fifth grade, she also felt inspired to pen an account of the night of the feline affair. By now, we were fond of Ms. Fink. We invited her to join us for a night of Hanukkah. It was the first time to experience the Jewish holiday for her. Happily, she ate her latkes with sour cream and applesauce. Gamely, she spun the dreidel. Delightedly, she opened the small gift of homemade cookies the children had prepared for her. As the evening seemed to be winding down, she clapped her hands, rubbed them together as if before a banquet, and exclaimed, "So, when do we torch the cat?" Thus the story ends.
Of all the reindeer, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph, Randolph ain't too far behind. So run, run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Tell him he can hurry, you can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, like a merry-go-round. Santa to a boy child, what are you really looking for? He said, all I want for Christmas is a rock and roll electric guitar. And off went Rudolph
whizzing like a shooting star. Everybody get up. He run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Tell him he can hurry, he can take this virus out. So run, Rudolph, spin it like a merry-go-round. Look out, Steve Barry. Say to a girl child, what would you like to get? She's like, I want a free world full of love and without any regrets. So walk with Rudolph like a secret jet. Here we go, yeah. So run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Tell him he can hurry, take the freeway down. Run, Rudolph, spinning like a merry-go-round. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Don't forget to feed your reindeer.
Thank you, Steve. Well, we are in our Christmas section here on the New Thought Spiritual Center. Very merry, happy holiday winter celebration service. Thank you, Steve Apperson, for that great Chuck Berry song. So Charlie Brown once asked, isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? Well, we are fortunate because we have PJ here who's going to tell us a short story from Luke 2, chapter 8 in the New Testament.
It's not working.
About the true meaning of Christmas. And here she is.
And they were in the same country, shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came unto them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all. For upon you on this day is born in the city of David a master teacher, revealing the Christ consciousness of the Lord in each and every one of you. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and that within you all, and on earth peace and goodwill towards everyone.
Next up is Jay with another Christmas story from American humorist and author John Henry Falk, who recorded the following Christmas story in 1974 for the NPR program Voices in the Wind.
The day after Christmas, a number of years ago, I was driving down a country road in Texas, and it was a bitter cold morning. And walking ahead of me on the gravel road was a little barefooted boy with a nondescript ragged overalls and a makeshift sleeve sweater tied around his little ears. I stopped and picked him up. Looked like he was about 12 years old, and his little feet were blue with the cold. He's carrying an orange. And he got in and had the brightest blue eyes one ever saw. And he turned a bright smile on my face. And as he says, I'm going down the road about 2 miles to my cousin's. I want to show him my orange old Santa brought me. But I wasn't going to mention Christmas to him because I figured he came from a family, the kind that don't have Christmas. But he brought it up himself, and he continued, and he said, did old Santa Claus come to see you, mister? And I said, yes, we had a real nice Christmas at our house, and I hope you had the same. And he paused for a moment and looked at me, and then with all the sincerity in the world said, mister, we had the wonderfulest Christmas in the United States down in our place. Lordy, it was the first one we have ever had here. See, we never do have them out there much. Don't notice when Christmas time comes. We heard about it, but never did have one because, well, it's just Papa says that old Santa Claus, Papa hurrahs a lot and says old Santa Claus was scared to bring his reindeer down into our section of the county because folks down there so hard up that they liable to catch one of his reindeer and butcher them for meat. Just several days before Christmas, a lady come out from town and she told all the families through there, our family too, that old Santa was coming in town to leave some things for us. And if Papa would go into town, he could get some Christmas time for all of us. And Papa hooked up the mule and wagon and he went into town. But he told his children, he said, now, don't y'all get all worked up and excited because there might not be nothing to this yarn that old lady told. But shucks, he got out of sight up there in the lane there till we was done watching for him to come back. And we couldn't get our minds on nothing else, And Mama, she'd come to the door once in a while and say, now y'all quit that looking up the lane because Papa told you there might not be nothing. But not long after the middle afternoon, well, we heard the team of jangling harness a coming, and we ran out in the front yard, and Ernie, my little brother, he called out and he said, yonder come Papa. And here come them mules just in a big trot, and Papa standing upright in the bed of that wagon, holding 2 big old chickens, all feathers picked off. And he was just yelling, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And the team stopped right in front of the gate. And all us children, we just went swarming out there like a flock of chi-chis, and just crawling over that wagon and looking in. And mister, I wish you could have seen what was in that wagon. It's bags of striped candy and apples and oranges and sacks of flour and some real coffee, and just all teensy and pretty. And we couldn't say nothing. Just kind of held our breath and looked at it, And Papa standing there just waving them 2 chickens and yelling, Merry Christmas to you, Merry Christmas to you. And a laugh and that big old grin on his face. And Mama, she come hurrying out with the baby in her arms, and when she looked in that wagon, she just stopped. And then Papa, he dropped them 2 chickens and reached and caught the baby out of her arms, and held him up and said, Merry Christmas to you, Santa Claus. And baby little Alvy Lee just laughed like he knowed it was Christmas too, And Mama, she started telling us the names of all them nuts. There wasn't just peanuts. She had the names of all of them. Mama knows a heap of things like that. She'd seen that stuff before, and we was all of us just chattering and going on at the same time. Us youngins are looking in there. And all of a sudden, we heard Papa call out, "Merry Christmas to you, Sam Jackson." And we stopped and looked, and here comes Sam Jackson leading that old cripple-leg mule of his up the lane. And Poppy says, "Sam Jackson, did you get in town to get some Christmas this year?" And Sam Jackson, he sharecrops over there across the creek from our place. And he shook his head and said, "Well, no, sir, mister. Well, I didn't go into town. I heard about that, but I didn't know it was for colored folks too. I thought it was just for you white families." And all of a sudden, none of us children were saying nothing. Papa, he looked down at Mama, and Mama looked up at him, and they didn't say nothing like they don't a heap times, but they know what each other wants to think. And they're like that, And all of a sudden, Papa, he broke out in a big grin again, and he said, "Dad, blame it, Sam Jackson. It's a sure good thing you come by here. Lord have mercy, I'd like to forgot old Santa Claus. Well, he would have me in court if he heard about this. The last thing he asked me if I lived out here near you. He said he hadn't seen you around and said he wanted me to bring part of this out here to you and your family, your woman and your children." Well, Sam Jackson, he broke out in a big grin, and Papa says, "I'll tell you what to do. You get your wife and children, and you come down here tomorrow morning. It's going to be Christmas time all day long. Come early and stay late." And Sam Jackson said, "You reckon?" And Mama called out to him and said, "Yes, and you tell your wife, be sure to bring some pots and pans because we're going to have a heap of cooking to do, and I ain't sure I got enough to take care of it all." Well, sir, old Sam Jackson, he started off leading that mule up the lane in a full trot, and he was heading home to get the word to his folks and his children, And next morning, it just, you remember how it was yesterday morning, just rosy red and looked like Christmas time. It was cold, but you didn't notice the cold, and the sun just come up just all rosy red. And us youngins, we're all out of bed before daylight, seemed like, just running in the kitchen and smelling and looking. And it was all there, sure enough. And here comes Sam Jackson and his team and his wife and his 5 youngins in there, and they's all looking over the edge, and we run out and we yelled, "Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!" And Papa said, "Christmas gift to you, Sam Jackson. Y'all come in." And they come in, and Mama and Sister Jackson, they got in the kitchen, and they started cooking things up. And us youngins started playing Christmas time, and it's a lot of fun, We just play Christmas gift with one another and run around and around the house and just roll up in the dirt, and then we started playing go up to the kitchen door and smell. And we'd run up and smell inside that kitchen door where Mom and Sister Jackson was cooking at, and then we just die laughing and roll in the dirt, and go chasing around and playing Christmas gift. And we played Christmas time till we just wore ourselves out. And Papa and Sam Jackson, they put up a table and put some sheets over it, some boards up over some sawhorses, and everybody had a place, even the baby. And Mom and Sister Jackson said, "Well, now it's ready to come on in. We're going to have Christmas dinner." And I sat right next to Willie Jackson, and he just rolled his eyes at me, and I rolled mine at him, and we just died laughing, and there was an apple and an orange and some strawberry candy at everybody's place. And that was just dessert, see? That wasn't the real Christmas dinner. Mama and them had done cooked that up, and they just had it spread up and down the table. And so Papa and Sam Jackson, they'd been sitting on the front porch, and they come in, and Papa, he sit on one end of the table, and Sam Jackson sit at the other, and it was just a beautiful table like you'd never had seen. And I didn't know nothing could ever look like that and smell that good, And Sam Jackson, he's real dark, and he had on that white, clean shirt of his, and them overalls, and everything just been washed and was real clean. And then Pop said, "Brother Jackson, I believe you're a deacon in the church. I ain't much of a church man myself, but I believe you're a deacon. Maybe you'd be willing to give grace." Well, Sam Jackson, he just stood up there, and his hands is real big, and he kind of held on to the side of the table, but he didn't bow his head like a heap of folks do when they're saying the blessing. He just looked up and smiled, and he said, "Lord, I hope you're having as nice a Christmas up there with your angels as we're having down here. 'Cause it sure is Christmas time down here. And I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to you, Lord. Like I say, mister, I believe that was the wonderfulest Christmas in the whole United States of America. Our eyes together and know that these gifts, these Christmas time gifts, these loving offerings from each and every one of you goes forth into the New Thought Spiritual Center, bringing its programs, its people, its music, inspiring all to their very best, informing, inspiring, loving this community with these funds, with this love offering. Your contribution, your tithe, it goes to the perfect place to bring forth more and more of the New Thought Spiritual Center into our lives, into our greatest lives. Releasing this word with thanksgiving and gratitude, we say together, and so it is. So let us know here and now that I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning for our special, very merry, happy holiday Sunday celebration. I want to thank everyone that's shown up, all of you that has shown up here on Facebook and that will show up later. Many of our community watch this a little later in the day, and we appreciate your consciousness coming to us during this holiday season. Thanks, Steve Apperson, Caressa, Reverends Gary and Barbara, and of course, PJ, for bringing your talents and your love of this holiday and of these holidays here during the winter solstice, during Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa, and all the others from ancient times. They all have one thing in common, and that is love. The sun lasts a little less longer right before this time and then starts to grow longer during the day, as you know. And so too does the positive energy into our lives, the positive love that we create, that we exude from us, from the divine within. As we vibrate at the very speed of the divine, here and now. Today, we're going to close with a beautiful song from Reverend Barbara. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And may I say to you, have yourself the merriest, happiest holiday in the whole United States of America. Blessings. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gathered near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays and a wonderful new year.
Mama's